The final trio tournament before FNCS group stages has just concluded, and we finally got to see a set lobby finals where both Clix's brand new trio and Peterbot Cold and Ritual were in the same lobby, as well as we are going to try to answer the question on what is going on with MrSavage and Mongraal going into groups now. Real quick before we get into this video though, please subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, as we are less than 500 subs away from 93,000 subscribers. If you guys want to support me even more, the best way to do so is by using code KDOG in the Fortnite item shop. Like I always do for eval cups, we're gonna quickly go over the opens for both NA and EU, and then we would go a lot more in depth for the finals. So in first place in the opens for NA, we had the trio of Video, Cooper, and Sphinx. These guys will continue to be a top 2 trio on NA for me as long as they keep performing. They finished with 377 points and were able to win 2 out of their 5 games as well. Also finishing the tournament tied for the most amount of elims with second place of Rapid, Kanata, and Bolts. Even though these guys have been very clear about not taking this season too serious, they stay at the top of the leaderboards, it seems like. Third place is the recently qualified for Grands team of Cease, Jack, and Blake. The Unk squad is really making a mark before Grand Finals start, so huge shout out to this trio. Fourth place though, I mean, the jokes kind of just write themselves at this point. It is kind of getting insane how many times the trio of not only Clix but also Batman, Boog, and Yamzo have been in 4th place now. These guys finished with 313 points and were able to win 3 out of their 7 games today as well. 5th place is Fito, and then playing with an EU player of Cringe and Zynox as well, so huge shout out to this team for finishing top 5. 6th place is the brand new trio of Reet, Bryce, and Vert. This is very good for them to be able to get set lobby finals practice in a format that literally only rewards wins. If you guys didn't see, they were not able to make it out of group 1, and they are going to have to qualify through the last chance qualifier now. 7th place is Seek, G Money, and Osid, another team that has already booked their ticket into grand finals. 8th is Taki, SU, and Npen. 9th place, after missing the last 2 eval cup finals, the best trio in the world is finally in of Ritual, Cold, and Peterbot, finishing with 262 points. So we will finally be able to see a set lobby eval cup finals between the trios of Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual versus Clix's new team of Batman, Boog, and Yamzo. And then rounding out the top 10 was Baka, Pars, and Pump. Some other big names we had is like 19th place of Threats playing with Marius and Ferdoxy. I do kind of feel bad for Threats because he literally has to play with EU players, because I'm pretty sure the rumor is that Booga and Aviv are both like just doing meme coins now, and like they're just too locked in on that to want to really play eval cups. These guys will still be a trio for group stages and most likely grand finals as well, but we really could be seeing the end of Booga very soon. Azer's Acorn and Poyo finished in 26th. Another grand finals qualifying team of Donnie, Mason, and Chance in 27th. The EU trio of Nefrizzi, Sinetta, and Malibuka in 30th. And then rounding out the top 33 is another grand finals qualifying team of Shadow, Curve, and Tyler. We only had a couple of big names miss out on qual today, like 35th of No W Plays, Chaos, and DC Awesomer, and then a really surprising one of 38th of Muzz, Yapko, and Rise. I think this is the first tournament these guys have missed the finals for since forming together. I really wouldn't panic too much on this with them going into group stages now, especially since it is just an eval cup at the end of the day. But let's actually go over how the finals went now. Now in the finals, who else would you expect to be on top of the leaderboard except for the best trio in the world of Ritual, Cold, and Peterbot? Now these guys were able to win 2 out of the 4 eval games today and almost had double the amount of elims of second place, getting 49 total elims. These guys looked as dominant as ever. I think they are still almost a guarantee to win FNCS this season. Their match history was a 19 elimination win, 11 elimination 7th, 5 elimination 15th, and a 14 elimination win in the very final game to really go out with a bang before their group stages actually start. Second place is going to continue to be the trio that I am just going to say is the second best team on NA of Video, Cooper, and Sphinx. These guys were the most consistent team of the day, having an average placement of 4.0, and they were able to win game 2 of the eval as well. Their match history is just so consistent as always, getting a 5 elimination 4th, 9 elimination win, 8 elimination 2nd, and a 2 elimination 9th. I think the top 3 of this leaderboard might be a potential foreshadowing to what FNCS Grands are actually going to look like, because in 3rd place, being able to prove Peterbot wrong, is the trio of Clix, Batman, Booga, and Yamzo. These guys were able to win game 3 of the eval, and I'm gonna show you guys the clip of what Peterbot actually said about them before this eval happened.
You realize that you're saying that they're qualifying warriors or whatever?
They are.
Yeah,
Look
okay,
at their
so
final placement.
So how'd they win 2 eval cup games every time? I swear, like
I didn't qual. I didn't qual.
Oh.
I'm in the lobby, they're not winning.
Now, I mean, hey, you can take that as you wish, because obviously the last 2 weeks when Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual were not able to qualify, those were both of the weeks that Clix was able to win back-to-back Eval Cup finals and winning 2 out of the 4 games in it. And then the first time that Peter is able to make it, they end up being the ones to win 2 out of the 4 games. I do still think it is a very positive sign for Clix's trio going forwards to prove that he can win games in the same set lobby finals that Peterbot is actually in, because this is the first time that he was actually able to do this with his new trio. We also got to see a 3v3 between Peterbot versus Clix in this tournament as well, so let me show you guys how that went.
There.
Did y'all shoot it?
No.
No.
Just hard
On the other, I'm dead. On the other island.
We're on, go down, brother.
Holy shit, or what?
Let's go down.
Y'all can just go down. I'm dead.
I'm good.
Oh my god.
Why is it acted on us? I don't get it. Wow.
Wow.
That is so unfortunate.
That
Why
is
is it activated on us?
I mean, I just don't know why that team's full up going and PGing. They just ruined their own game too. I don't get that.
Moving on with the leaderboard though, in 4th place was Donnie, Mason, and Chance. These guys continue to just look super good going into grand finals. 5th is Noxy, Virgo, and Curly, a team that I might almost be ready to call one of the more underrated trios on NA. 6th place, huge shout out to Threats, Marius, and Ferdoxy for finishing top 10, while 2 of them are on EU, and then Threats isn't even playing with his full trio. 7th is another very underrated team of Zeus, Creon, and Tony. 8th is Taki, Eshu, and Npen. 9th is Power, and then rounding out the top 10 is Stacks. We did honestly have a lot of big names outside the top 10 today, like 14th of Kanata, Bolts, and Rapid. They did get super close to being able to win a game though, so I wouldn't really be too worried about this team. A trio that was also pretty close to being able to get a win was 16th of Agers, Acorn, and Poyo. The leaderboard does just go off of how many elims you were able to get in finals though, so I mean, these teams, I guess we're just not really fragging out today. And then a trio that we might have to start worrying a little bit about is 17th place of Reet, Bryce, and Vert. Now their average placement was 13.7 in this, and these guys are obviously one of the trios that needs the most practice, since they literally are already in the last chance qualifier now, and the only way that they're going to be able to get into grands is if they are able to get a win. And we can also say the same thing for the trio that finished in dead last of Asian Jeff, Aloe, and Krillian. Let's actually move on to how EU went now though. Now in EU, we have a lot to talk about, including why MrSavage and Mongraal are struggling going into FNCS groups now, as well as some trios that just look so good. Let's start off with the winner of opens of Hauntry, Finnick, and Uppel, finishing with 364 points and being able to win half of their games today as well. Super impressive opens from them. 2nd place was Vino, Vico, and Flixie on 316. I mean, I don't think we really expect anything else from these guys except for like top of the leaderboard finishes, and most of the time 1st place finishes. 3rd place was Polish, Dandir, and Snoz. 4th was Robin, Trexter, and Hyjo. 5th was Fant. 7th was Konbik, Blahan, Mixon. 7th was Kira. 8th was Andalix. 9th was Pingwalks, Malabuka. And then rounding out the top 10 was Focus, Refsguard, and Della. We did also have some trios that were able to qualify that really struggled in the group stage, like Vania, Pixie, and Marius finishing in 12th place. So it does look like these guys are going to be sticking together going into the last chance qualifier now. And we are still all wishing the best for this team, hoping that they're able to qual. Another big name is like Sharks, you and Zandy in 17th, Tripper and Thomas HC and Ferdoxy in 28th. The other big name trio that wasn't able to qualify out of group 1 into grands, and a lot of people really did think that there was a big potential that they could split, of 29th place of Chris, Teeny, and Skavi. It looks like they are going to be sticking together going into last chance, and they were also able to qualify to the Eval Cup finals, so maybe this will give them some positive momentum now. We do still have a couple of big names that were just outside that qual range, like 34th place, literally only 1 spot out of qual, of Seti, Hari, and Cammy. I still really wouldn't be too worried about this team going into heats. Another team that I wouldn't be too worried about is like 45th of Swizzy, Queasy, and Mustache. Trulex, Chicho, and Tayson finished in 68th, and then Mongraal, MrSavage, and Panzer finished in 80th. Now, I have seen some concern from their fans around saying that these guys are really just not able to qualify for like the finals of anything anymore. And going into groups now, we should start to worry about these guys. And to me, I honestly just don't value Eval Cups as much as like trio cash cups and things like that. Like, we literally saw the best trio in the world of Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual miss out on the Eval Cup finals so many weeks in a row. And we definitely don't hold like Mongraal and MrSavage to the same level that we hold them. So why should it like not be a very very big deal when like Peterbot's trio doesn't qualify, but when like Mongraal and MrSavage aren't able to qual, it's like such a big deal, especially after they were literally able to place top 10 in the FNCS play-in. I think if there is one critique I can make for this team, especially since they are starting to land at the bird again, they kind of do need to practice their fighting more as a trio. It's just something about them that it's like whenever they go into like straight on like 3v3 like mid-game fights, or if they're getting pushed in on after having a fight at the bird or something like that, it seems like they do lose the fight more often than not. And especially if you are going to be going into grand finals and landing at a POI like the bird, that you do have the risk of being like pushed in on consistently. If teams are going to be like struggling to get their surge, you really do need to know how to fight together as a trio if you want to be successful. Now, if you just actually look at their match history from today, it wasn't the most impressive stuff. They got a 4 elimination 11th, 3 elimination 28th, 0 elimination 20th, 1 elimination 20th, then an 11 elimination win, 12 elimination 5th, and a 5 elimination 15th. I think that if they were able to make it into the finals of this, it would definitely be super good practice for them going into a literal format where winning a game gets you into grand finals. So I think they are missing out on some valuable practice, but I don't think like any less of this trio now because they weren't able to make an Eval Cup finals. But let's actually move on to how the finals went now. Now in the finals, where else would the trio of Vico, Vino, and Flixie be except for in first place? These guys were able to win game 1 today. They also finished today with 29 elims, which was actually surprisingly not the most elims out of everybody in the finals, but they also had an average placement of 9.2. And if we just look at their match history, it was an 11 elimination win, 4 elimination 10th, 14 elimination 7th, and then their very final game was by far their worst game, getting a 0 elimination 19th. Now these guys do still have to play in the FNCS group stage to try to make their way into grand finals, but I don't really think there is any doubt from anybody that they will be able to do that. Second place though is honestly kind of a surprising team, and is a team that I don't know is giving me false hope or if they are actually just looking good, and that is the trio of Friss, Teeny, and Skavi. They were able to win the very final game today, getting a 12 elimination win, and this has to be just such a confidence boost for this trio, especially after really struggling in their group stage. Now them being in the last chance qualifier, and the only chance they have left of being able to make grands is going to be winning a game, and they showed that they were able to do that in the Eval Cup. When I actually make my predictions for trios to get wins, I still just don't think I'm going to be putting them on there though. Third and fourth place are underrated trios, starting off with in third of Fant, Craig, and Azit. They were able to win game 3 today, and then the team that was able to win game 2 was Cringe's trio. The other trio that I really want to highlight on, they honestly did look pretty good today, but they weren't able to get a win, is the team of Vania, Pixie, and Marius. They finished in 5th place today. They were able to finish the tournament with the most amount of elims, and they literally had an average placement of 7.0. Now these guys got a 7 elimination 3rd, 12 elimination 4th, 3 elimination 12th, and an 8 elimination 9th. So they really were playing super consistently, and I do really believe that they will be able to get a win in the last chance qualifier. 6th place was Adian, Michael, and Jakey. 7th was Snazy. 8th was Hyper. 9th was Tripper, Thomas, HC, and Ferdoxy. And then rounding out the top 10 was Shark, Kaju, and Z Andy. A trio that did kind of struggle today and has really been struggling ever since they formed is 23rd place of Chi and Rezon and Kadu. I really don't have like the most amount of faith in this team going into the last chance qualifier, since these guys were not even able to make it into group stages. But I mean, hey, at the end of the day, I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see what is actually going to happen with this team. Let's actually move on to the final kin stats though for the most damage dealt in the Eval Cup finals. Starting off with in 10th place is Trex, 9th was Marius, 8th was Pixofsky, 7th was Sined, 6th was Walks, 5th was Rylis, 4th was Pixie. Going into the top 3 is 2 of them are on the same trio of Vino in 3rd, Vico in 2nd, and then honestly a surprising 1st place of a player that I feel like we haven't really seen at the top of leaderboards in a while, of Thomas HD on 5,391. Other than that though, remember, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, as we are on the road to 100,000 subscribers now, and we are less than 500 subs away from 93,000 subscribers. If you guys want to support me even more, the best way to do so is by using code KDOG in the Fortnite item shop. YouTube says to enjoy one of these 2 videos up on the screen right now, so go check them out if you guys haven't already. Follow me on my Twitter at ChiliKDOG to keep up to date with everything to do with Fortnite competitive. Thank God for another day, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.